How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffled, and guess what, guys? We got massive news today. One of the biggest things is that we're going to be getting ourselves a new Nintendo Direct today. Now, my voice is a bit gone. I've been playing the Teal Mask DLC all day, but we have some massive news to talk about. I will be making a video on our RuffledRowlit with all the little hints and stuff as well, but I'm going to be starting with this video right here, which is, guys, there are actually hints in the new DLC that are hinting to both Johto and Unova specifically. Now, if you actually look at both Kitakami and the Indigo disc, like the two DLCs, I even made this tweet that I specifically pointed this out, and this is another thing that was pointed out by even Eduardo here, which is basically that Kitakami feels more old school, more like Japanese in theme, and feels more like Johto, whereas the Indigo disc feels way more like Unova. And we now know that by playing the game, as we can see that it does have more of that Johto feeling to it, rather than what we see in the Indigo disc, which seems to be something else. But that's not all. There's also references to Johto in the Teal Mask, and even references to Unova. Now, the Unova references have to do with the characters. Now, you guys see this. Well, we basically have these three new characters that we have to bring up. These three really important characters, which is, of course, going to be Carmen, Kieran, and it's going to also be, I kind of forget her name, but it's like the new teacher lady. Now, the thing with her is, and I forget like what her name is, but the important part about her is that she actually tells us she's from Unova. She literally says it, that she's from the Unova region, which is crazy because that pretty much confirms that if she is a teacher from the Blueberry Academy, which is where we're going to go, then the Blueberry Academy must be located somewhere close to Unova. Does that mean we're going to be going to the Unova region in the next games? No, but I do think it opens up the possibility. I specifically said, okay, so it's pretty clear now that Kitakami is a Johto connection, and Blueberry Academy is located in Unova, and is related to the Unova region, which means that the 2024 last Gen 9 games are going to be Johto, and in Generation 10, we should see the return of Unova to all of us, which also makes sense, by the way, because Pokemon remake games always come out every other generation. They don't come out every single generation. They have come out every other generation, and when I say remakes, I'm talking about the mainline remakes. So, again, Leaf Green, Heart Gold Soul Silver, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, BDSP, those four are main remakes. I'm not counting Legends games, Let's Go games, nothing like that. Those are like offshoot games. There are alternative games, as I would like to call them. But basically, what we're seeing most likely next year is a return to Johto, which I think would be honestly fantastic. Also, if my voice sounds weird, I've been streaming all night. I streamed for 24 hours. I'm really tired. Either way, a new Johto Wild Battle theme remix is in the game. Now, if you actually listen to this, which I don't think you guys can hear, but I'm going to try to change this so you guys can actually hear this audio, because it actually is pretty interesting. But basically, it plays the theme from none else than Pokemon Johto, like the Johto games, like Gold and Silver. Now, I don't know if you guys can actually hear it. I can, and it is pretty weird to hear it, because yeah, it's basically the theme, the battle theme that you hear from when you battle like random Pokemon, but it's basically the Johto Wild theme being used in the background, which is pretty nuts if you think about it. It's a direct reference to Johto, which I think is crazy, which means there is definitely things here that are pointing towards us going there next. Now, if that's going to be the case, we have to wait and see, right? We have to wait and see what's going to happen with that, if we're going to get anything out of it. It's all up for debate at the moment, but we have to wait and see, of course. We can't, throw the stone and judge all of it just yet. There is still a chance things could get pretty interesting here, okay? Things can get pretty wild, to say the least. But I wanted to just bring this up because I think it's interesting and fun to talk about. And here's a post from Eduardo who says, lol, the Scarlet and Violet DLC makes it glaringly obvious. Part 1, the Johto connection, which is to Kitakami in the past. Part 2, Unova connection, Blueberry Academy and the future, which means that Gen 9 should be a Let's Go 2 and Legends Celebi, or PLA prequel. So something, either let me say, he says Let's Go 2, but basically a regular, simple remake of Johto, or possibly a Legends Johto type game. And then Generation 10, which is going to be not next year, but that would be, I guess, 2025 is when that would start. We'd have a brand new generation, and Generation 10 first in 2025, and then after that, we'd have a DLC, and then finally in like 2027, I want to say, we would get the black and white remakes, which you might think, well, that's really far away. Why would they already hint at? that's just what they do. Now, there is a chance, of course, that what we get next year might be a little bit of a strange mix where we might get a Johto remake game and a Legends Unova game to kind of get us ready or something like that, like for the next generation. Could be something like that. Could be nothing like that. We just have to wait and see, of course. It's all speculation as of right now is all I'm going to say. So keep that in mind. Also, for those who haven't played the DLC, you guys may know Dipplin is a new Pokemon, but that's not all. We also know now that it's pretty much confirmed that Dipplin will get an evolution. And the reason for this is because the item Eviolite actually works on it. So this is an item that boosts your Pokemon stats if the Pokemon can still evolve. And apparently it actually works on Dipplin, as posted by Leonardo Craft 3 over here. Basically, it's, you know, it's still able to do like use the Eviolite to its advantage, which shouldn't happen normally though. So yeah, it's a bit strange to say the least. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be getting another evolution in the next DLC, which is going to be the Indigo Disc. Again, there is still more stuff. The new Indigo Disc Pokemon, we have a confirmation for all the ones that are going to be in there. We know there's the Raging Bolt, we have Paradox Entei, Iron Crown, Paradox Terrakion, which is, of course, that one, and Entei we still haven't seen. The Dipplin evolution, which we haven't seen. Archaludon, Terapagos, and a new Pokemon rumored to be based on Momotaro, which is a bit random. And that's pretty much it for the Scarlet and Violet DLC, is what he says right here. So it is a bit strange. I don't know. I just want to know what you guys think about all of it. It is a little bit of a strange one. So yeah, just let me know your thoughts in the comment section on that one specifically. But let's move on to the big one, which is from Matt U. Kahana here. Matt U. Kahana on Twitter, who basically does data mining. And he data mined all the files, and they end up leaving a lot of the files in there for what Pokemon will be returning. So he says, surprise, more Part 2 Indigo Disc leaks. Game Freak left in the habitat text for DLC 2, which includes all the species forms, which lets us confirm the entire Blueberry Academy Pokedex. Not included in the image are species 1013 and 1017 to 1023 internal IDs. So I guess those would be possibly Pokemon that could be brand new that they just don't want to show off yet. But if you actually look in here what Pokemon are returning, we've got all the starter Pokemon. As you may notice, they're all over the place here. You've got Rowlet down here, which is adorable. But yeah, all of them are returning. And on top of that, let's see what else is in here. We got the Oddish line, the Vulpix, we got Sandslash. So those we are already in the game regularly. But what's actually a Pokemon that's returning? I want to say, I'm like looking through this, trying to see if I can spot any that I can think of. But I really can't think of many of these. I guess Toucanon would be one that we don't have currently, which is returning. I guess Golurk and whatnot. Cubchoo's already in the game, so that's nothing too crazy. Excadrill, I guess. You got the I guess I was gonna say Rhyperior. No, it's again, I'm really tired, but it's the fossils from Gen 4 from Sinnoh. You got those. You've got quite a few mix of Pokemon in here, but yeah, it's quite a lot of starters, to be honest. The starter Pokemon take up a big chunk of the stuff that might be returning, so you're gonna have your hands on quite a few new Pokemon, or sorry, old Pokemon to have your hands on. And in terms of just other Pokemon in general, as you see right here, this is the total list of new Pokemon you're gonna be seeing. So just keep that in mind. Either way, there's also this fact that Nintendo creatures and Game Freak have trademarked Mask of Change. So that means there's going to be a new TCG set to do with the Teal Mask, Night Wanderer, and Crimson Haze. And probably a new TCG set for 2024. The upcoming Teal Mask, we expect Ogremon to be the Mask of Change. The others could be from the Indigo Disc. Yeah, the Night Wanderer and Crimson Haze. I guess the Night Wanderer could be like a set based around Blood Moon Ursaluna, or the Crimson Haze could be one based around that instead. So we'll have to wait and see. Either way, there's also this right here, which says, did you know that Parrot and Briar will be introduced in the Teal Mask, but were also confirmed to be the official Japanese website to be in the Indigo Disc as well? This is pretty much a no-brainer when it comes to Briar. So that's the name of the teacher who basically has a direct reference to being from Unova. But Briar, it's surprising that we may go on a more photography adventures with Perrin. There's just an example, but maybe there'll be a whole new side quest with her to photograph a certain mythical Pokemon, the Momotaro Pokemon, and maybe we'll catch many of the book's legendary Pokemon leading up to catching this mythical, or maybe she'll actually have some endgame plot relevance. Either way, I'm excited to see in what capacity she'll be featured in the Indigo Disc. Now, Briar, on the other hand, I'm sure will have an even bigger role in DLC 2. In DLC 1, I think she's bringing us just to Kitakami, and then she'll probably bring us to the Blueberry Academy later on too. But I'll have to make a whole new tweet speculating more on her potential in the future. I'm going to tell you right now what I think the potential of her actually is, okay? I'm going to tell you right now. I think that the deal with this character is, like, this is just, again, my theory. I think she's going to be the one that's going to take us down into Area Zero. Now, for those of you who do not know, Area Zero will have more of a plot line in the DLC than it's actually even had in the regular base game. We're going to be going down there again at the end of this DLC. So once you've completed both Kitakami and also the Indigo disc, we're going to be going down there to do some extra story, probably to find terapagos or something along those lines is what we're most likely going to do, which I'm excited for. I finished the Teal Mask. I am tired, as you may notice. My eyes are just gone. I am just literally, I've fallen apart trying to make all these videos for you guys. But guess what? We're going to be getting our hands on more stuff in the Indigo disc that was coming up next. And then, of course, we have the Nintendo Direct. This is actually something I'm going to be streaming in about an hour and a half or so. I'll be live for this, so feel free to come by. It's going to be roughly 40 minutes, so this is pretty crazy, but it says, join us for a Nintendo Direct live stream focused on Nintendo Switch games launching this winter. So I am wondering a little bit why it's going to be 40 minutes if it's games that are launching this winter. It is a little bit surprising. You would expect it to be, you know, I don't know, like for like the rest of the year or upcoming year. I don't know, it's a little bit odd, but everybody's hoping maybe they'll actually announce the new Switch. Maybe they'll announce like games like, I don't know, a new Prime game. I don't know, that's never gonna happen, to be honest. But basically everybody's just hoping they're gonna announce something large, but they haven't done that yet, so it's just a waiting game at the moment. And then, of course, I just want to bring this up for anybody who hasn't done it, but basically if you beat the Ogrepon Alston balloon game, you actually get yourself a free shiny Munchlax. Now, I've been trying to do this all night yesterday because I already knew this was the case, but it just took forever. But yeah, try to get the highest high score and you can get your hands on that as well. And ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much summarizes, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for the video. I don't really think there's much else to say. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'll see you on live stream on YouTube. We're going to watch that direct together, of course. So I'll see you there.